Welcome back to the Barrel Talk Podcast. We are back with another episode, joined with Cole, Nick here, kind of going and just doing a little bit of a mixed bag in this episode today, talking about kind of some stuff that's going on in the NBA with the 65 game rule limit, talking about Luka Doncic and his injury going into the playoffs now. It actually just came out that he's going to Europe to get special attention to it to try to come back sooner and getting another look at it. Got talking about Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons going into the playoffs, and just kind of talking about some NBA and getting into some keep 3, cut 5, starting to add that more and more to the podcast just because it's a fun thing to do. Just getting sports talk just in there as well to end the episode. But we can kind of jump right into it. It is Easter when we are recording this. How are we all feeling?
Great. Happy Easter to you guys. I had a great Easter personally. Got to see my family. There wasn't much sports on. I watched actually the College Crown championship game for a little bit, but then I was like, what am I doing? I turned that off. The women's national championship game was today too. I don't know if you guys follow that. I don't really, but it was like they won by like 30. UCLA did. I mean, no good ball on today, but I'm glad to be talking ball tonight. I'm repping my Brewers. Baseball's been going. We don't talk baseball in here, but
I was about to say you just said there was no games today. Your boys were playing today. Went crazy.
We won today. I just nationally televised game. We won today. I love our team. We can talk about that another time. But Brewers one of the best teams in the league. It's a joy to watch
baseball
them.
Episodes. Come on now.
Hey, I'm down.
I watched every single day since opening day.
Did the Tigers end up winning? Because I did bet on the Tigers.
They lost.
Damn.
Yeah, so did I actually. I bet their run line. We both lost.
I bet the run line. I saw that was the only nationally televised one. I was planning on watching, but I kind of forgot about it, to be honest.
Right. Nah, bro. The Cardinals scored all their runs in like one inning, and it just got out from there.
I've seen that.
I'm doing good. I don't really. Yeah, I don't really celebrate Easter, so my day was pretty much just watching baseball.
Nice.
I don't celebrate it because I'm away from my family. I ain't got no family around here. That's the only reason why.
I worked all day, so that was
about
it. But we can tap right into, because at the start of this week, on Monday, the Lakers were considered contenders. Me and Cole made a video that's dropping tomorrow morning, talking about our biggest questions for all the contending playoff teams, some teams that were in the play-in and stuff like that. And that's going to be out tomorrow on the channel. But in that video, it was kind of borderline. I wasn't fully in on the Lakers being contenders. Me personally, I just don't think they have the roster built for playoff success in terms of their depth and role players and the athleticism in the playoffs against certain teams. Over media, a lot of people also thought the Lakers were contenders and were a real serious threat to OKC, San Antonio, Denver. Now Luka Doncic, who is getting reevaluated, getting a second opinion, and Austin Reeves are both out for the rest of the season, leaving LeBron James at 41 years old all alone. What are the thoughts for the Lakers going forward?
I mean, it's pretty much
I'll start off.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say it is definitely cooked for them when it comes to me taking them as serious as I did last week as a contender. What I will say, though, is if I'm playing the, thinking positive mode of, best case scenario for them, it's that Luka is still able to give you what he was going to be able to give you playoff-wise when he returns, right? Sure, is the Austin Reeves – because, listen, I don't know the exact timeline. I don't know if it's set. They just are saying missing that in the regular season. That's the article I just saw. Maybe you guys have seen more than me, but right now, yes, it's concerning because obviously you're losing Austin Reeves, a 23-point-a-game scorer. But at the same time, whether you saw the Lakers winning a series or going all the way, yeah, maybe you don't think they can go all the way anymore without Austin Reeves. But I still believe that if Luka is playing and able to give you his 35 a game for the series, that he'll be able to. And they're playing it really sucks. I'm ranting at this point, but the level of basketball the Lakers had been playing down the stretch of the season was great. And for all this to happen to them, especially like you had mentioned, to a 41-year-old LeBron trying to make one last run and have some playoff success. I mean, that is just brutal. I still think, though, if they can get a favorable matchup, I don't know if it's set yet. I think the West is still – I actually should have looked at that first, but –
I have it right here if I can kind of go through it.
Is it who they're going to play? Is it set of who they will play, or is it –
No. So looking at this now, the main question was that I was thinking could the Lakers fall down to the play-in? But that little push they did go on, that big win streak, they kind of separated themselves from the play-in bunch by a good margin. So looking at this, they're 15-28 right now on a 2-game losing streak. Denver's on an 8-game winning streak and just tied that record. So Denver will overtake the Lakers at some point in these next couple games. And it really comes down to if Houston can overtake them, because if not, we're looking at a 4-5 Lakers-Houston matchup, which I think is the best case scenario, because I just don't. And the Minnesota Timberwolves are playing without Anthony Edwards, who's dealing with the knee thing, but it looks like he's going to be trending towards being fine by playoffs. But it's more so I think the Rockets are the best matchup. Yeah, they don't match up with the Rockets athletically, but the Rockets aren't the greatest offensive team either. So if that's the 4-5, I think they have a better shot.
Yeah, and that's all. That's all I was getting at with that one is just, yes, if Luka's able to come back and play, I still think the Lakers can get out of the first round. But you can't feel good if you're a Lakers fan. That's all I have on it. Reeves is going to miss, like, extended time, right? He's, like, longer.
What was the oblique?
I saw 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Bleak. So, I mean, that's a common baseball injury, and I'm pretty sure speaking of baseball. Anyways, I just don't see them as a finals contender. I don't even think I really ever saw them as a finals contender. We never were. I just, I think when you have Luka Doncic, you always take him serious. Yeah. But it is going to be interesting.
You were higher on him than me.
Yeah.
You were higher on him than me.
I need to see how he looks. In game 1, I will be able to give you a real answer of how serious I am about them. But right now, I have no idea. Is he going to come back and be like he was in the playoffs last year, where he's slower and out of shape? Or is he going to come back and have in his PT, getting back and ramping back up to playing went great? That's what we don't know, and we'll have to see, because in the past, he's been able to put up his numbers out of shape, but it doesn't translate to winning basketball. What he's been doing this year has been translated to winning basketball. I mean, we're talking about top 10 steals, 34 a game, 8 assists per game, 8 rebounds a game, half a block. Not the greatest on-ball defender. I'm not trying to sell you that at all. But he is way more active than he's ever been. He's not falling asleep backside. If he can come back from this injury, being the same Luka he was, they will get out of the first round.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. Honestly, from my perspective, before this conversation, Luka was not coming back. If he does come back, they are fully alive still, I think. Because not to hate on Austin Reeves, I just don't think he really brings their ceiling up too much. I think with Luka, Luka's really obviously the main one. And if they get the Rockets with Luka, I think they still win that series. The Timberwolves are a little bit of a weirder matchup. If you have Luka, I think he'll be fine with Anthony Edwards. They'll be able to go band for band. But I don't know. If you don't have Luka, you're very obviously cooked. Like you're not beating these guys, anybody with just 41-year-old Braun, sadly. As much as I want to believe in it.
I kind of have it right here. So looking at the standings, the Rockets are 48-29.
Mm-hmm.
The Wolves are 46-32. Denver's 50-28. So if they swap with the Lakers can kind of be in somewhere in that 4-5 realm. But looking at the Rockets, it could flip in terms of Minnesota being able to play the Lakers in the first round, because looking at the Rockets' last 5 games right here, they're playing Golden State right now. Steph Curry is back in this game, so it makes it a little bit more competitive as well. Then they have at Phoenix. Phoenix still playing for playoff position.
I think we're locked into the 7.
The 7?
Yeah.
Philly's been playing better basketball. They're probably ramping up for a playoff push themselves. Minnesota, which that will probably be for the higher seed, and the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies to end of the year. But if I'm being honest, it's in my absolute best interest, if I'm the Minnesota Timberwolves, to push to get that 5, because I'd much rather play a hurt Luka Doncic Lakers team than a Denver Nuggets team.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, the Rockets have a 2.5 game lead over the Timberwolves.
Yeah,
it would have to be like
a collapse.
The Rockets would have to lose almost all these games. So it's very likely. Yeah,
but it is.
It's more than likely going to be Lakers 4, Rockets 5, unless the Lakers completely fall off in these last few games.
Which I think is an interesting series. I think that's a way more interesting series, because I think a lot of people would just chalk it to, if Luka plays, the Lakers would win that series. And I think I would lean the Lakers. But I do think this is 2 teams that, if you don't have Reeves and the Rockets don't have Fred VanVleet, who they haven't had all year, and Steven Adams, who they lost midway through the season, it's kind of 2 teams that need desperately to get out of the first round with the Rockets and the Lakers, because I don't think either franchise really, not saying they can't afford, because they both kind of have excuses this year, once again, going into the playoffs, but it's also like a, damn, now you add Kevin Durant, first round exit for both teams. Like the Fred
I
VanVleet.
don't know if the Rockets had like any excuse. I know FVV been gone the whole year.
I took a lot of my stock out of the Rockets as being like a legit second round conference finals team. Once I saw them make no additions at the deadline and then no Steven Adams being one of the best offensive rebounders in the sport. And he was a huge reason why Sengun and that big lineup worked last year, because Sengun can play on the perimeter, but it's just that rim protection that Steven Adams does provide you isn't there anymore. And now they're kind of always forced to kind of play somewhat pseudo small ball. I know they have a lot of athletic wings, but they've kind of been forced to play the small ball lineup because their only big outside of Sengun is Clint Capella. So it's like very interesting compared to what they had last year in the big man lineups that they were running. And now that's kind of taken away with Steven Adams.
I'll touch on a little thing that's bothering me about Houston as well. And we don't have to pretend like we don't see it. And we can try to say, no, this is reaching. But you look at last year's Rockets team, right? They were the number 2 seed. So they had a better regular season than this team did, first of all. And I know Golden State would have been favored over them in that first round series, even though they were the 2 seed. All year we kind of knew it. Hey, it's a young team who doesn't have like a closer. It's Şengün and Jalen Green. We don't really got a legit number 1, but they play super hard, so they're a really good regular season team. We don't take them too serious in the playoffs. But guess what? That team had unbelievable vibes. They played their asses off. They had an identity. They had great culture with Dylan Brooks being there, who, Corey, we talk about what he brings to your locker room. They had that. They had all these different things going for them. And, yeah, they didn't have that tier 1 shot creating number 1 option like they do now with Kevin Durant. But they had a lot of these other things that allowed them to take a Golden State team to 7, who was a very good team that time of year. Golden State, that was a legit great series. And I think Houston, they kind of surprised people by playing Golden State that well in that series. And what I'm trying to get at right now is, sure, did they address the number 1 option thing? Yes, they got Kevin Durant, one of the best scorers this game's ever seen. But, man, we can love KD and still call out the fact that he fucking brings terrible vibes with him to every single team he plays for. And, sure, you could tell me that I'm crazy for saying KD is a part of the problem because, oh, look at his numbers, watch the games, watch him play. I don't give a fuck. This happens everywhere he goes. Every single Suns fan wanted him traded. The Rockets fans, you're a Suns fan. I've completely forgot.
Can literally attest
to Brooklyn. You look at him in Brooklyn. He gets swept by Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. At some point, we don't have to defend KD just because he's one of the game's legends. He simply brings a terrible vibe with him to every team. I'm not going to say that the shit about him tweeting on the burner is, 1, even true, and 2, how his teammates feel about him. I don't know how his teammates feel about him, but I do see him having bad body language as a 35, 36-year-old man towards Alper Şengün when he doesn't like the shot he takes. I do see him, instead of being a leader, bitching about his teammates. And 3, if that burner shit's real, it's weird. And since that shit got out, they have been bad. So maybe it's not a correlation, but at some point we have to stop pretending like KD isn't in some way not a part of the problem here, because he's not a good leader. He's a vet, but he's not a good leader. He's a good shot maker. That's about it. He can't handle double teams either. So what JJ Reyes is going to do is, maybe they're not the best personnel to guard him, but they're going to blitz the fuck out of him, get the ball out of his hands, and Amen fucking Thompson, who can't shoot, is not going to know what the fuck to do. He's going to attack the rim, and it's going to be an ugly-ass offense. It's going to be an ugly-ass series. But the last thing I'll say before I wrap up, hear me out. Luka might not get back till game 3 or 4. We will get to see LeBron James versus Kevin Durant, some vintage basketball in a playoff series. That will be cool.
That will be pretty sick.
The only thing that is kind of talking me into the side of going with the Rockets, because we're kind of going into like, that's probably going to be the matchup in the first round. That's kind of like the only one that's like officially kind of set, it seems like, with the games left in the season and everything else like that. So looking at it, I really do trust the Rockets role players more, especially with the Lakers role players. Say Luka doesn't play the first 2 games and the Lakers are kind of in a situation to where they got 4, 5 games left in the season, however many they have left, to get those role players kind of acclimated to an entirely new role. I just trust what Houston's continuity has been. I know it's been rocky post All-Star break, but I trust those role players knowing their roles and being able to step up in those moments compared to the Lakers ones. Because if I'm looking at the Lakers, who is realistically stepping up for you You don't have a true point guard on the roster without Luka or Reeves on the floor. You have, yes, the point forward and Bron, but you don't have any other real true ball handler on the on the roster. Like
Agreed.
Luke Kennard was running point today and had a triple-double. But looking at that, I don't really see a whole lot of guys being able to create against a Houston Rockets defense that can be aggressive on the perimeter and can pick you up full court. Like, I don't see anybody being able to just truly just bring the ball up the court against somebody like Amen Thompson if they do full court. And I just think the Rockets' athleticism against the Lakers with no Luka possibly for 2 games and no Reeves, it seems like, for the series, I think things can get dicey quick if you don't get. Now you're banking on a big time LeBron performance, because if you don't get a big time Bron game, who
you're not supposed to be relying on that anymore either. So yeah, I'm with you on this.
It sucks because of the situation, but unless Luka is playing this full series, I'm taking Houston because I know what I'm getting from Houston, and I think they're going to be able to play more consistent. I know they have questions offensively, but
the way they're going to be able to guard that Lakers team is going to be crazy.
I just don't. They're going to sell out.
What if Luka is playing?
If Luka's playing, it's a whole different series. Whole different series.
Would you still pick Houston, though? Because I think you have great logic on this series, even if Luka's playing. Like, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. And that's why I'm just asking, like, do you think if he plays from game 1, maybe not even knowing what he'll look like, but they say he's full go? Because your logic on this series is something that I think, you could – maybe people, like you said, are going to chalk it down to Luka playing or Luka not, but – What about those role players still? Like, I do agree with you on this logic.
I think if Luka is a full go for game 1, I still lean Houston. Because from everything I've seen with the hamstring injuries, they compared it a lot to James Harden. When James Harden hurt his hamstring with the Nets, very immobile. And I know Luka isn't this athletic specimen, blow by you and everything else like that. But Luka was playing with a different burst, realistically, all this year when he was healthy. Luka was getting downhill more, being able to just be more athletic. I'm not saying he's dunking like he was his first 2 years in the league, but he had more of a burst. He was quicker on his feet and everything else like that. And I think against an athletic team, kind of what they played last year, not up to the caliber, I think, of Minnesota last year, but another young, athletic team that can run the floor, switch multiple positions, I think I'd still lean Houston in a series and trust that defense on the perimeter and the guys that they can throw Luka Doncic's way. Coming off of a hamstring injury, getting thrown into the playoffs like that, no Austin Reeves now, I think it could just get super dicey for the Lakers. But it's also, like, me saying all this, it could legit go either way if Luka comes back and he's healed. I've just seen, from everything I've seen, these hamstring injuries tend to linger and they don't just go away like that, even with a couple weeks off. It seems like I legit watched Steph Curry last year get ruled out for the entirety of a series against the Minnesota Timberwolves after getting hurt in game 1. Like, I know it's a couple weeks before the playoffs, but Steph Curry was 2 different players. Steph Curry was ruled out for the whole series.
Yeah.
From the hammy.
I got to agree with Nick and you on this a little bit because, like Nick said, like, I don't know if I'm changing my pick because Austin Reeves isn't playing for a lot of games, because I think Luka is going to have a ginormous load of work to have to do. But like you said, like in a series like this, just having an extra guy who can create off the dribble is so important with all the different bodies that they're going to be able to throw at Luka. And like, dude, Luka was giving you 35, 36 minutes a night this year without taking plays off most of the time. Like, he was very locked in, and that's going to be a big ask for him off the injury to give you that. And there's going to be times where Amen Thompson, like Corey was saying, is trying to pick him up and make him work to get the ball down the court. LeBron's going to have to do it, but it would be really nice if they had that with Austin Reeves. That's just another random thought I had, man. That will be a really good series. Now that we break it down a little.
I'm excited to kind of, like, when we do get like our predictions out, I'm excited to kind of just like tap into like that full series, because we'll know more about the Luka Doncic situation. I think it's one of the more interesting series in the first round because of all the stuff that comes with it as well. And like, before we move on, like Cole said, we're kind of getting a treat. I know it's kind of with the injuries and it sucks at this time of the year, but we're getting Bron KD in playoff basketball. Like, at this stage in their careers, who knows if we'll ever see this again. So I think that's just an interesting, positive, light way to look at it.
Yeah.
It'd be good viewership or whatever that matters. It always matters to people around playoff time. They love bringing it up.
Next thing we can get into is we can kind of keep it on kind of playoff talk before we get into some 65 game rule and some tanking stuff. Kind of more of a question for you guys. Are the Pistons on upset watch if Cade Cunningham does not return in the first round?
Very much so. Very much so.
And what team to you guys is the team out of the play-in that could give them a run if they don't have Cade Cunningham? Which I've heard nothing. I've just heard he's ruled out for the regular season, punctured a lung. CJ McCollum was out. I can't remember the exact timetable he was out when he had it last year. I want to say it was like about a month or so. I don't know how long it's exactly been for Cade Cunningham, but just kind of what are your guys' thoughts on the Pistons in general?
I love this team. That's my thing. I don't want to say yes to the upset watch stuff. I've seen some things kind of hinting at that punctured lung sounds a lot worse than it actually might be. That's what I'm hoping. That could be just copium by a Pistons Twitter. I don't know. They need him to be any type of a serious threat to anybody, but they have only shown me that matchup dependent against any of these play-in teams, unless it's Philly, if somehow they're playing, which I don't think that's going to happen, but if they're playing Philly, I'm more concerned because Philly has that playoff experience. I don't think Philly is as good as they think they are. Their fan base does. That concerns me. But all that this team has shown me is resilience. I mean, I hinted at it. Since he's been gone, it's not that they've just been winning games against all the shitty-ass tanking teams there are. They've beaten some good teams. They've won close games. They've grinded it out multiple different ways, had a lot of different guys step up. And Karis LeVert has been unbelievable. Jalen Duren's been doing this all year. That's an all-NBA guy. Maybe. Yeah, definitely probably the 65-game shit. Dennis Jenkins, that's his name, right? The guy from St. John's. Like, they just got a bunch of different guys stepping up. And teams that are consistently good like this all year, that doesn't just disappear when the playoff hits, usually when it's this good. And if it does, I will be surprised. But yes, Scott, I mean, we can't sit here and lie. Like, they need Cade Cunningham to be a team that can make a run. Because even with him, we haven't seen them in the playoffs yet. We don't even know what it looks like with him.
Yeah.
But I do know this team plays a very fun, hard-nosed, playoff style of basketball, if you will, also.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I completely agree. I like the minutes that Dennis Jenkins has been giving them. But I'm going to kind of go down the route of like what these teams, which team is going to be the best to upset. Obviously, I agree with you, Cole. I think it would be the Sixers, but it would definitely be hard for them to get that spot. They're the 6 right now. They'd have to fall into the play-in, lose the first game. So it'd be very difficult for them to match up with the Sixers. But
they won't
still
play.
possible.
They won't be the 8, I don't think.
The other one I think would be the Hornets, just because with the Pistons, with you losing Cade, there'd be a chance of you losing some offense. And we've seen all year that the Hornets have the potential to get hot at any time. And if that offense just clicks for 4 games, 5 games, and if Cade is gone the entire time, and the Pistons just lack a little bit of offense, you get Jalen Duren in some foul trouble early on. You never know against the Hornets.
That's my thing. The only reason I want to speak on the Hornets one, because that's the popular pick right now for this. That's like the talk. My thing with that though is, like you said, if they can get their offense clicking, then they can do it. To me though, yes, I 100% agree. They're a really good team, and when that offense is clicking, they're dangerous. They're unstoppable offensively almost at times with how they can shoot it, create. They have athleticism, all these different types of things. But I am going to bank on the team that is good, that brings defense every night, almost every night. Defense travels. It'll travel to Charlotte for game 3 and 4. Yes, I know it's so hard to pick which one do you want to value in a playoff series, the defense or the offense, which is better. We haven't seen either of these teams in the playoffs in a while, at least. Yeah, no, Pistons or Hornets. But I'm going to rely on that. Like, I just trust in what they've shown me all year of having a defense that can travel and bring it every night than a team that is a play-in team. And
right.
Yeah, they have a really high explosive level. That's my whole problem with the Hornets to be. I feel like people are getting very high on the Hornets versus the Pistons without Cade. And I don't buy that. I don't.
I am going to talk about a team that you guys haven't talked about. You talked about Philly, talking about the Hornets, which is a very popular pick. But the one thing I do have with the Hornets is I'm not going to bank on a team if they get hot, which this team is completely new to the playoffs. The Charlotte Hornets haven't been to the playoffs in almost over a decade at this point. looking at that, LaMelo's never been to the playoffs. Brandon Miller's never been to the playoffs. Conkin Nipple's never been to the playoffs. Like, looking at this, like, I think it would be the most fun series to watch if it were the Hornets, because like the Hornets and the like I kind of talked about it on our biggest questions. Like the Charlotte Hornets could fuck around, get on some like we believe Warriors type shit with how they play and that pace of play that they play with and that fun style. I'm gonna say the most dangerous team for them to play is Toronto, because when I'm looking at Toronto and that offensive style, it would be a gruesome series to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if every game finished under 100 points team totals for both teams. But I think if there's anybody that I kind of trust, and we're talking about a playing team upsetting a 1, and if the Pistons have Cade Cunningham, we're not
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking at Toronto. If that does happen, and say you get Charlotte beats Toronto in the first leg of the plan, which the plan is in a couple weeks, so we'll know that and everything else like that. It's tough assessing these play-in matchups, but I'm looking at Toronto with Brandon Ingram, who can be a late game go-to guy. RJ Barrett, you kind of know what you're getting with him. Emmanuel quickly can be the spark plug that you can just go off at any time. Then you have Scotty Barnes, who Scotty Barnes just does everything. I think Scotty Barnes, outside of Wemby, is the best defensive player in the sport, outside of Victor Wembanyama. And I'm just looking at this Toronto team, who Cole knows I was high on before the season started, like I was high on the Phoenix Suns before the season started, that they can be an interesting matchup because they can play that slow down style of play. And I think it's hard for the Hornets, a young team, first time getting into the playoffs, playing a Detroit Pistons team, going on the road and establishing that style of play from a young team. I can see that more so from the Toronto Raptors that have had multiple guys in the playoffs, multiple guys that have had runs in the first round. Like, I trust more of that kind of veteran team getting out of the plan to make some sort of 1 seed nervous, especially without Cade Cunningham, rather than the Hornets, who are like...
No, I kind of disagree.
I kind of trust the Toronto.
Because those guys have, like, they've been there, but, like, none of them have really had that success. These Hornets guys are like, this is what I'm thinking. Like, if I'm the Hornets, like, I'm smelling the blood in the water a little bit. And, like, we've never been here. Like, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Like, let's go in and show them. Like these guys are hurt, like, more than, like, these guys who have been here before. Yes, but, like, have any of them had really, truly any success?
Brandon Ingram's shown to be a playoff riser, but that was on a completely different team as well.
Like,
and
how many years ago?
Had a regular season, yeah. But I don't know. I'm not going to go out and say I think the Raptors would beat the Pistons, but we have seen the Raptors play some good basketball this year too.
Oh, for sure.
Corey, where do you see the? Let me just ask, because I know they're the 1 seed, and like you said, I mean, what would that series look like to you if Cade is playing?
I would obviously lean Detroit, but I think if Cade's playing, for some reason, I just think if Cade's playing, a team like Toronto, even or even a team like Orlando coming out of the plan, would just give the Pistons more of a run. I think the Hornets' chance of winning that series would be with Cade out of the lineup.
Yeah.
But I think if Cade was in the lineup, I think the Pistons would sweep the Hornets. I hate that to say it like that, but I could see the Hornets blowing like 2 close games and then just getting out of there. Like,
they're a real all or nothing team. I could completely see them getting swept and having that. Like, one game they score 80 points because nobody can hit a shot. They have chance in 2 games, but then they just blow it. Like, I can completely see that.
I got a hot take.
And I'm always looking at the Hornets as next year. But I think for some reason in the back of my head, and we'll get into when we get the full complete bracket and everything else like that, for some reason I'm just like, Orlando been down all year because everybody's been hurt. Everybody's been hurt.
I like Orlando.
They're getting Franz back. I know Paulo's been up and down all year. Desmond Bane's actually been pretty fucking good all year. Really kind of worth those picks. And then Jalen Suggs been it. I'm like, what if this hurt team can just click at the right time and get going? If the Pistons don't have Cade
by the Raptors.
Yeah.
50.
Yeah. So it's
that's my
tough.
only problem with them.
It's tough. I know.
When their offense goes bad, it goes fucking unbelievably horrendous. But
their team looking at
the playoffs.
Yeah, I just think that I trust the Toronto with how Detroit plays in that slow down physical style. I trust a team like Toronto and Orlando that can play at that style more consistently than the Hornets. And I think it's crazy because I think the best of like it's crazy that we're talking about the plan like this right now. But the best of like Toronto, Charlotte, and Orlando is Miami. Crazy enough to say. A team that can play physical and slow down, but has a lot of scoring, veteran coach. Like Miami can make it interesting. And it is crazy to say. Miami thrives in shit like this. Miami thrives coming out of the play-in. If there's any team that knows how to come out of the play-in and like really hoop, it's fucking Miami. And like I think, I don't know. I don't know. We'll
I like
have
all
fun.
these 4 play-in teams, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, I do. But if I had to rank them in terms of if Cade Cunningham's healthy by playoffs, which could be a possibility, I think it would go Toronto gives them the hardest run. Then it would be Orlando, Miami, and Charlotte. That's just my take. Because I just think Cade Cunningham controlling the pace of a game against a young Charlotte team, I just think that would just be tough.
100%.
I think there still is credit
Tough.
we need to give to how the Hornets played this season, but I kind of think I agree as well. But I also like to Nick, I did disagree with you about Charlotte being able to beat them. I do though think, like you said, like they can bring a lot more firepower than a Miami can, than an Orlando can, or than I'm blanking on the other team. Toronto can almost maybe. And maybe not Toronto. I don't know what that would look like offensively. So yes, I think that while I agree with Corey that I take those other teams more serious, I do like it would be like if the Hornets would be able to find a way to upset the Pistons in a round 1, it would be some exciting basketball to watch. I mean, they would have to score a lot of points. They would have to change how Detroit wants to play, and they have a capability of doing that. So there's credit to be given to them. It's just like they're gonna have to shoot the piss out of the basketball, and I just don't know if that group of guys we have nothing to base it on if they will or not.
Yeah.
So that's the unknown, but that's also just like that's where I'm at with.
It's just tough because you have to be really physical with Jalen Duren, and they don't really have the bodies to like go up against him and cause foul trouble and do that. So it's like single faceted.
That's why I think Toronto and Miami is an interesting matchup. Scotty Barnes on the interior, guys attacking downhill and stuff like that on both sides. But I think my last point on Detroit, because we don't know if Cade Cunningham's playing, is yes, the defense will travel, but at some point you're going to have to get offense. And I think in a playoff setting, relying on Dennis Jenkins, Karis LeVert, Duncan Robinson, guys like that on the perimeter to consistently get you good looks like Cade Cunningham was getting you good looks, it's going to be tough. I think it's matchup dependent for sure. And I got to see how the full play in and how it all stacks up, because there's a world where like that first leg of the playing games in Charlotte, then I'm like, fuck, that place is going to be rocking. Charlotte might be getting Boston out of the play-in instead of getting Detroit. And then I'm like, okay, now we're looking at the second leg to see who plays the 8th seed. Is it going to be Toronto and Orlando to play? So like it's going to be interesting to see who the 7th seed actually is, because I think that has a huge determining factor.
I mean, it could still be the Hawks. It could still be the Sixers.
Yeah, like we still got some games.
There's a lot of guys. Still 6 teams that could be in the plan.
And also, I said earlier, I was talking about Charlotte and Detroit, saying that we haven't really seen it from either of these teams that have been in the playoff for a while. I more meant with Detroit because they haven't seen in the playoffs last year. But last year was house money for them in round 1. Yeah. This is their first time being a team that's the hunted is kind of more what I was getting at. And like that's even to me, I'm holding that true even without Cade. Like obviously it's house money. If you lose, it's because you don't have your star player, all-NBA player. But like this is your set. You had a taste of the playoffs last year. Everyone in that locker room is expecting to win, no matter if Cade plays or not, at least round 1, because you earned the 1 seed. I guarantee you, no matter who they end up playing, they are expecting to win. They have the coach of the year potentially on their staff. This team has been so legit all year. Like guys, like if we're talking about a Pistons team that wasn't like, I mean, how many wins do they even have right now? Like they had an unbelievable season. And they only showed me that they would translate to the playoffs. That's why I'm hesitant to make any predictions on this. Like, I think they would sweep some teams. I think they could sweep Charlotte. This is my hot take I want to make, but this might end up sounding stupid. I think they sweep Charlotte if they play without Cade. I think they maybe sweep Orlando too. I'm not kidding. Without Cade, I think they will beat all of these teams in 5. That's where I'm at with this, and I want to be on record saying.
Did you say that you liked how it looks with Dennis Jenkins at the 1?
Like how
And like with the that was Corey that said with Duncan Robinson.
No,
and
I like it. I like it.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I like it against Charlotte. I mean, he's a playmaker for real, and I'm not going to go out here and say that he's the reason they win that series, but we're talking about Karis LeVert and Dennis Jenkins.
I picked him up for my fantasy playoffs, bro. Went crazy.
Guys aren't just.
I ain't tripping.
These guys. Yeah, no, these guys aren't just dudes that hang around Cade and get open shots and have been able to hit them this year. These are dudes who they designed this roster to have other capable playmakers, because that was a problem with the team last year until the end of the year when Dennis Schroeder was able to step off the bench and give them some help in that area, and that's when shit was like, oh, they actually might beat New York.
I mean, and they also they had this time to like kind of react to it. It's not like it's the Lakers where they lost Luka 3 days ago and Austin Reeves yesterday.
100%.
Like, they lost
100%.
Cade a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Like we've been running Dennis Jenkins out there as the 1 for a while now. So like, I'm not too worried about it when it comes to them. I just think it would be fun for the Hornets to go crazy. But like, I do think they will be fine. I'm just worried of them having to, like, if Dennis Jenkins goes cold or something to that offense, if they're just not able to play make and they have to play through Jalen Duren. That's just what I'm worried about, is them just being one-dimensional at some points.
I think I'm agreeing with a lot that's being said right now. I think my last point on it is like, I kind of just would trust a more veteran team to kind of make it that simple. Fuck. If Miami gets out of the play-in again, and it's the 8th seed, I'd be scared.
I'd be scared. Now I'd be a little scared.
Because I was like, this team gets up for shit like this.
Bam
This team plays all season for shit like
tough
this.
one. Because Ty Hero and Bam have been there like that. Bro, Tyler Hero automatically becomes the best shot creator in that series.
Ware has been playing crazy recently.
Norm Powell, Davion. Miami will be a tough matchup. Still got Wiggins.
That would be for sure. That would 100. And Spo's going to have some shit for Detroit without Cade. If you have Cade though, Spo could throw shit at you. Listen, I'm both ways on this, because like it's just I'm both ways on this. I'm just saying though, you have Cade there though. I mean, they're getting Miami the fuck up out of there. I believe that. I ain't gonna lie.
Also, are we a little bit worried about, like, I'm not worried, just like how many minutes do we think he's going to even be playing when he does come back?
Off the long,
Like, it's off the long. It's a long injury. Like, his cardio is going to be fucked.
Fuck, that's a good point. That I'm thinking about Charlotte, that pace of play, and
I think it's going to be fine. I think I'm not.
They're not going to put him out. He's not going to like be like on his hands and knees.
Right.
Like, they're not going to put him out there to die, bro.
If he's not able to fucking breathe.
I agree with you though, but like, because he has to do a lot of things. It's not just the cardio. It's like he has to do a lot. Like his usage rate is high too. I get what you're saying. He'll
be fine. I just don't think they'll push him. They'll put him out there for whatever they need him to, and then they'll ease off. I think they're smart about it. They're smart about it.
Won't. Yeah. He can breathe. We're
just gonna be out your hands and knees. I'm be like, hey, look at that.
We can kind of get back into this topic come playoff prediction time, which is going to be in a handful of weeks. But the next topic is kind of, before we get into some Keep 3 Cup 5, is a big topic that's out in the circles as well about the 65 game rule, because now it's looking like Luka, who's a game short of this, who might get kind of looked at differently because he did miss like 2 or 3 games because he had his kid earlier in the season, and the league could push those games through and everything else like that. So where he does qualify. So now we're looking at an award season where no Cade, who was well in MVP talks, probably could have won the award if he doesn't have the collapsed lung. Well in MVP talks with Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, Luka Doncic now, all are going to be missing from all NBA teams, which is very interesting. I have kind of come out, and I can kind of go into like what I said I would do, because I made a video kind of fixing the NBA a couple months ago when this was kind of at its peak. I think the games played for awards is an interesting kind of thing, because every time I did research on it and every time I looked at what could they do to fix it, it came down to one thing. You make it any less of games played, the revenue is hurt. Money runs the world. They are not shortening the season by any stretch of the imagination. It just won't happen. And if it does happen, I'd be absolutely fucking shocked if it did, because the revenue would take a hit. If they even went from 82 to
Wait,
82
you're
games
saying
to 72.
I thought you were talking about 65 games played being the minimum. They won't lower that. Okay, I got you. I'm with you. Yes, they would. Yes.
So I'm just talking. I just brought that up to kind of how I look at it, because it's like, why are players missing games? A lot of guys are sitting back to backs. The pace of play is at an all-time high. I think that's a big reason why we're seeing a lot of lower body injuries, Achilles, ACLs, things of that nature. We're seeing guys bounce back quicker as well, which is an interesting thing. Maybe it's because people got hurt so much with these injuries. Doctors are kind of getting more familiar with these kinds of injuries. The pace of play is going nothing but up. So looking at things like that, I do believe that the 65 game rule requirement needs tweaking. I don't hate it. It needs tweaking, because there's this guy on YouTube, Six Rings of Steel. He made a very good video and a very good point. And he said that
He's awesome.
Victor Wembanyama, who's at 1,700 minutes played on the season, is at like 600 less minutes than Luka almost. But Luka's not going to make it, being at the 65 games. So is it a minutes thing, or is it a games played thing? Because Luka's playing a lot of the minutes, has some guys that are making it in a world.
I like that. I like this question a lot, because here's the thing.
Shout out to him. He made like a nice video about like his thoughts, because he's kind of like on the fence about it. He thinks it works but needs tweaking as well. And I agreed with a lot of just kind of Six Rings of Steel. Y'all probably know who we're talking about. He made a really good video on it.
Oh, I think that this is just such it sucks, and it's a hard like debate, because on one side of it, you want there to be everyone playing 65 games. So yeah, I like it. Naturally, I think it's a good thing. I think we should try to have guys be motivated to play. But like, it is very tough when someone like legitimately gets injured. And from my memory, I mean, Luka played most of the season. It felt like that. Like I didn't feel like Luka didn't play enough to not maybe be the MVP or just be in the awards in general. But there are going to be other cases separate from that where it's like, it didn't really feel like he was playing that often. And I'll be honest, like, he suits up every night, but it sometimes don't really feel like Wemby is always playing that much. And I love Wemby. I think he should probably be the MVP. I mean, he's fucking insane. And there'll be times where even in these games, he's only playing 24 minutes. He's overly productive, and he'll like, I'll look at a box score, it's 12 minutes played and he's got 20. Like, it's like just random shit like that all the time happening. So it sucks, because I'm never going to be on the side of get rid of the rule. I think there should be a rule. I think it should maybe just drop maybe down to 60. Like, that seems like such a simple answer. I don't know what it should be. Whatever, if they can figure an amount that makes it feel like someone's playing a certain amount of games. My only problem with that, like I'm saying though, is what if then, if you do lower it anymore, and let's say you make it 58, what if that's what they come to, that being their conclusion? I don't want to watch a player purposely only play 58 games and sitting stuff out still. It's like, it's not a league rules problem. It is a player's problem. Whether it's one, we're just getting hurt more because the pace of play, that sucks. Can't do anything about that. But we can do stuff about a guy making $90 fucking million in 2 years, 40, 50 fucking million dollars a year, whatever the fuck it is as the top max, just sitting out games, because I don't fuck with that at all. I don't fuck with that at all. You have the best doctors in the world. Play when you can play. You're an athlete. We're competitors.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to sit here and act like I have an answer. I have no clue what to do about this shit. To be fair, I looked up just how many games Cade played. He played 61. So that's why I was thinking was the make it down to 60. Like you said, it does feel like a very simple answer.
He played all year. Cade was playing all year, basically.
Yeah, and he played 61. So if we were to do that, that would have added him in. And maybe that 60 is valid, because I think that 60 out of 82 I think that's a pretty valid number.
Yeah.
For games played. But again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know that that's the best answer. But I also don't have any other alternatives. I think it'd be valid. I think 60 would be good.
Make it simple. It's like, this is year one of the test run of doing it. These guys basically played all year, and everyone agrees. Yeah. We don't have to act like this is 30s. There doesn't have to be any like math behind this even to me. It's just like, just change it to 60. Honest,
no, that's actually a good point. There doesn't need to be any like extracurricular bullshit.
He should just be
Hey,
like,
this
oh,
is what it is. This was the problem. We're going to switch it. Just change it 5 games, and this is what it is. I would be completely fine with that myself.
Shit, if I was running the league, I'd say, shit, I just changed my mind. We're changing it to 60 effective now. Cade's first team All-NBA. Sorry. like, who the fuck's going to disagree? He's a first team All-NBA guy.
I'm kind of like in the middle of, I think there's a world where you can look at minutes played has more of a good benchmark than games played, because in the 65 game rule, like it has to be, if there's something in it to where you have to play, it's like 20 minutes played. So that's why like Luka his 1 game away, he can't sub into a game, sub out. Like there has to be a benchmark of like 20 minutes played or something like that. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I do think there's a world where I'm seeing the light when it comes to minutes played. Because say you broke it down to minutes played, and it's obviously the guys with the highest minutes are going to be the stars of the league for the most part. I think the only star, like when you're looking at some guys are on minutes restriction coming off of injuries or something like that, to where their minutes might not be the highest of the highs. But it's also like a situation and a circumstance based. So like Wemby was coming off the bench, coming off of a lot of his injuries earlier in the year. Like that's an example for his minutes might not being in the top end of the league.
How many minutes has Wemby played?
I think it's in like the.
So I just looked up the lowest amount of minutes played for all NBA players in the last 20 years.
And I kind of got all that. Like, because he broke it down like in the video I watched earlier today. Like really good. Like that's what opened my mind to like
LeBron in 2020, Steph in 2017, and Yao Ming in 2006. Those are the only 3 players with that amount of minutes. That low amount of minutes that have made all NBA. So my only question to you about that is how many times, like if we switch it to minutes played, I don't think there are going to be many aberrations besides Victor Wembanyama that are going to run into that issue. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's going to be a Victor Wembanyama only problem.
That's why I'm kind of like, I could see a world where like, I'm like, okay, maybe if you can break it down to a numbers thing where it's like, this is the amount of minutes you play that would equivalent to 50 or 60 or however many games you want to make the cutoff be. So that's why I was kind of, maybe it's like
either one or the other type thing.
Yeah, I personally don't like it fucking at all. Because just talking from a player's standpoint, you're fucking guys out of Supermax extensions off this shit. You're fucking guys out of so much goddamn money, awards, legacy shit, all NBA teams. Like this shit matters to guys when it comes down to the end of their careers. And now you're looking at somebody like Luka Doncic, who I hate to say it like this, because I'm going to come off as a Luka hater when I'm not, is looking at this situation now to where he might end his career with no MVPs. He might end his career with no ring. We don't know what the future holds. And like when you're looking at, he might be the guy from this era that has no real accolades outside of the first teams. Like who's telling if he gets an MVP? If he didn't get it this year, it's like, fuck. It's like SGA ain't getting no younger.
How much more you can do.
Or older. Like, you got SGA, Wemby, Jokic, Cade, Tatum next year. Fuck, Jaylen Brown could fuck around win MVP this year. Like he's in the mix.
Wemby.
Yeah, like
all these guys that playing that level of basketball. Yes,
Anthony Edwards is getting a lot better. So it's like I don't like the rule itself because it takes away from the actual best players in the league. I think it should be a situation thing. Like if Steph Curry this year has not played at all in the second half of the season, he shouldn't be able to qualify. But if you're looking at somebody like Anthony Edwards or Cade or Luka, who's played all year, they should get a stamp. Yeah. They should get a stamp.
I like
they should be able to get. I think it should be a situation thing.
Have a committee
like a judge, like a committee,
declare if they fucking think he's played it, if he's valid or not. Fuck it. Yeah, fuck that. So then you feel like you got to earn it. You got to earn it. You got to have get some Hall of Famers. Get them in a room at the end of the year. And if a motherfucker wants to load manage or whatever the fuck, he has to decide before that game. Man, like I'm kind of getting to that point. They might not get me there this year. Now that could cause a lot of problems, yes, but fuck, like I'm so with you. I'm so with you. The circumstance is so important with this.
Luka would legit be over the games played of 65, but he missed 2 games, I think it was, because he had a kid earlier in the year.
I bet they
and the league and the league could look at it and push him along and kind of look at those differently and make it a situational thing.
Have sense.
Yeah, like I just think because like for me, if a player like plays 57 to 61 games, then I'm like, there's argument there. That's a lot of games still played in the season. But if it's like teetering around like 55 and below, then I think it should be a no. But I think it's so situation and circumstance based. That's kind of my thing on it. Fuck the
Like, we
rule of the
should-
games played. It should be a situation.
You're
do
right.
this.
It is, because it has to be. It has to be a situation. Because like, how many guys are you seeing playing 51 games that are even in these
Yes,
conversations?
Exactly. It's only the
We-
top
that's-
end
Who are
as
the
well.
leaders? Who are the leaders of missed games? And we can find that line that makes sense, But even then,
Right.
the circumstance still might not feel the same because, like, it's a big difference between you're fucking sitting out every other night or versus you had to miss a month for this injury.
You had to miss a month from a heavy hamstring
Like, it's a
injury.
legit injury. That's a legit fucking injury. But sitting out every other fucking night for whatever the fuck, not playing back-to-backs and shit, letting all that add up, that is different.
Yeah,
There's no black
I
and white.
agree. There isn't, from everything I've seen and just either watching videos about it on YouTube, which I've done a ton, just kind of like recently, because I think it is such an interesting topic. There's one thing that I would do for sure. If I was a commissioner of the NBA today, a big thing that I would do to fix a lot of the shit going on in the NBA and make it more competitive and create rivalries, because we haven't seen a real fucking rivalry in the league. The only thing that's been budding is like Spurs OKC just off this year because the Spurs have been putting belt to them all year. Or it's like Denver, Minnesota. That's been a budding one. OKC, Denver. It's kind of just been all those teams. And then it was kind of this like weird like trio of like Milwaukee, Boston, and Miami in the East for like a good 3-4 year stretch. They were of those teams were taking each other out. But I'm just thinking here, before we get on to some Keep 3 Cut 5, the one thing that I've always wanted is them to take a page out of the NFL's book. For the love of God, if they made it, and it would be an interesting thing because you would argue like, oh, the top teams would just have home court advantage and the top teams would just be the highest teams in the seeding. It wouldn't matter. I think if they put more emphasis on divisions, because divisions mean absolutely nothing in the NBA.
Nothing.
Fucking nothing. If
Too
you
many
made
games.
divisions mean more, yes, there's too many games.
I couldn't tell you one team in Suns division.
Like, they'd have to do it like baseball, to where you're playing your divisional opponents like way
Like,
more
way more.
than other teams.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I mean, that would also shorten the travel and all that. Just saying, but
That's a whole
I don't
different.
know.
That's all. They could make a whole video on, because that's a good point. It would shorten travel, maybe make it easier on back to backs. Who knows? Because the travel is a big part of the NBA. But
Make it only maybe make back-to-backs only those type of games. Like it.
exactly.
Yeah. But dude, it would completely change the schedule. Like, you would have to make it actually matter and to get people to actually care about divisions. You would have to be like, you'd be playing the same motherfuckers all the time. Like, you'd be playing. You have to.
I just think it would be interesting
Baseball's
if
162 games like that.
Yeah, I just think it would be interesting to see maybe somebody who's not the best. How we saw it in the NFL this year. The Steelers, nobody really thought was the best team in that division, but they were good against the division, which led them to have a home field advantage in the playoffs. Maybe I just kind of want to maybe experiment with something like that in the NBA. Maybe that creates more rivalries in the division. It makes the divisions mean more. Like, yeah, you can see a world where like a lot of the same teams in the division would still make the playoffs. But like, let's say the Lakers were like really good, but like the Clippers had like the better division record, and they were both considered playoff teams, and the Clippers got home court over the Lakers because they were better in division. Something crazy like that. It would be hard to break down because there's 82 games, way more than the NFL, and it would just mean it would be a tough thing. But I've always been interested in it. Is there a way that they can make the playoffs different, a little bit different? I guess is all I'm trying to.
Sucks. This just sucks because in the NBA, we I hate to do the whole nostalgia thing, but the NBA we grew up on, this was never a problem, simply just because dudes weren't just sitting out of games. It felt like as much. That just wasn't as much of a thing. There was. I feel like I like to avoid the conversation of trying to find solutions to make the NBA compete with the NFL, because one, I think that people who really love basketball are just going to enjoy the sport how it's always been and how it is. And two, no matter what the NBA does to try to change it and perfect their league, they will never be as big as football in America. That's just the truth. It's just you watch it on Sundays. It's the perfect setup. It's 17 games. Everything means so much every single week. It never will. So I don't think they should try to either. And I'm not saying please the older audience and don't try to grow the game and get all these new fans from other countries, other younger kids that are growing up, because the truth of the matter is no matter what they put out there, we're going to watch it. So it only makes sense why they want to do those things. I tend to just gosh, I really hate do I think divisions in the NBA would be sick? Yes, but I don't also
It also might not have that same feel as the NFL.
Yeah.
It might not have that same feel.
What if it just doesn't even hit? Then it's damn, you already ruined the sport we all love. I don't know. It's a tough one. It is cool.
I just always want them to try to do something with the schedule. Yeah, in the offseason we'll definitely try to make a fixing the NBA video. I don't know. I've always just spitballing ideas of what things could change in the NBA for better or for worse. I don't know. But that's just me.
What? Yeah.
But
what about
we
this?
can transition.
What about this?
Oh, go ahead.
If you want to, I'll try to keep it short. I thought you'd ask this question. I don't know. Were you going to touch on the tanking stuff? Because I have a quick solution to that.
What would you do? Because I've also tried to wrap my head around tanking.
I didn't think of this idea. It's also sick. Someone else made a reel about this. So this isn't my big grand idea, but it's as simple as just do what the NFL does. Because the problem right now isn't about. There's always been tanking. It's never been this many teams. Because now, because of Dallas just getting the number one pick, every team that you could maybe even be in the play-in, but you were we don't have a chance to win the title anyway, so let's just lose and try to get the pick. If you just give the worst team the best pick, and then the play-in teams are well, shit, we're going to be in this area anyways. We might as well try to give our fans a playoff series, make the extra money from being in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. So that's all I think. Just do worst team gets number one pick.
I think the one thing that I came up with when I was thinking about the plan, I said if you qualified for the plan and you were the 10 seed or 9 seed and you got into the plan and you were playing in the plan, you were disqualified from the lottery because you're technically in a world of playoff team. It would make teams have to choose.
Didn't they make the plan to try to stop tanking originally too?
In ways, yeah. Give teams more of a chance to compete.
But it didn't
we've
work.
seen teams go to we've seen teams go to the finals out of the plan. So conference finals out of the plan. So it's I like the plan, but I think if you made it to where if you make the plan, you disqualify yourself from the lottery. So those teams, I don't think the problem is the teams that are tanking. The teams that are the problem are the Bulls and the Sacramento Kings and the teams that just sit there at this midpoint in their franchise and don't pick a direction. The teams that are actually bad are bad for a fucking reason, like the Wizards and the Jazz every fucking year, and they just get killed by bad lottery luck. But I think the problem is the teams that are the Bulls and the Kings that are just sitting in this dead zone of the NBA. You could say the same thing about Miami. They're in this dead zone about the NBA that's we want to compete for the fucking play-in and get the 9 seed and just lose and then still have the best of both worlds because they're a passive organization like the Chicago Bulls, to where we're fine with competing in the play-in, but we also get the best of both worlds because we can have a 1% chance at the lottery and win the lottery. So we're playing the best of both worlds. I think you should make teams choose. If you qualify for the play-in, you're technically a playoff team. You shouldn't be able to qualify for the lottery. It would at least make teams choose a fucking direction.
Isn't that just setting the bar lower? But isn't that also setting the bar lower too, though? Because then you're basically saying you don't know if in the West those teams could be in the East. Excuse me, they could be fucking horrible. They just happen to be in a weak East and they snuck the 10, but they deserve to also. Maybe it wasn't because of tanking, whatever. But then in the West, it's shown to be the opposite sometimes. I agree, I like the logic, but it's that almost feels like it's setting the bar lower than two sometimes because it's well, okay, I don't know. But I
want
think
to retouch on this.
I wouldn't even see your. I wouldn't even see your neck like I have an answer, bro.
No,
you said play-in shouldn't have lottery.
I don't think it should either. I agree with him.
They shouldn't be qualified for it.
No. Yeah.
I don't know. We've also seen kind of back-to-back years with the Hawks and the Dallas Mavericks have won the lottery with 1%, 2%, 3% odds.
Yeah. I think you should. I think you should short. I don't even think you should be giving those teams odds, bro.
I think it should be top 4. It should be top 4 or 5, and then everything else is set.
What do you think of having two
I like that.
drawings, kind of like a 1 through 6, and then like a everybody else. After
Yes.
that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah.
Like Dallas
Something like
shouldn't
that
have been
will
up
work.
for it last year. Or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like,
they
so they
even
wouldn't
missed
have a
the plan,
chance
I
in
think,
this.
or whatever.
There's a cap on what you can do.
For sure.
Say if you made the plan, the highest pick you can get is 7 or 8.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Didn't make it,
Like,
and those
protect the
teams that
land
didn't
bank
make the
teams.
plan. Yes. So those
But then we're getting
10
into the
teams that
territory
didn't.
of bro. But imagine the Utah like went into this year on their fans and I guess they do this anyways. So let me pretend like I don't need to pretend like I don't know that, but like I don't want teams to start trying to tank until they already are getting close to like being like they're already really bad or like nearing elimination. Like I don't want teams being like, well, shit, we had number 4 pick this year. We still need to draft 2 more guys before we actually care about winning. So we need to make sure we're in this top 6 every year. Game 1, Will Hardy, I need you to blow this shit. Play fucking Cody Williams 35 minutes. I don't give a fuck. Like we need to do this. Like night 1. Like then but I'm not saying teams do that. That just sounds ridiculous. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like there's no good way. I feel like there's something to everything. If I can play devil's advocate to all these ideas because I don't know.
I think it's something that we'll talk about more in the offseason when we'll kind of like see how
got
this year
playoffs
turned
coming
out
up.
thinking wise. But we can kind of transition into some Keep 3 Cup 5. I got just 2 of them here. I know Cole wasn't here for the last one. And we can kind of just jump right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you giving us like a niche? Are
Yeah.
you giving us like a niche of player before we do it, or are you just gonna say a name and we have to be like guess what? Like
He's gonna give us like the topic first. So like
okay, that's what
we did was like for NFL we did like the best quarterback going into the season. You have to pick 3, and then you only get one name and you pick them.
I didn't
keep
know.
them or you cut
I
them.
didn't know if you were doing it like would you rather style, like better
Right.
player, like what if you just said Jalen Suggs? I'm like this shit could go
Jalen
anywhere.
Suggs,
I don't
Jaleel
even know.
Okafor.
Yeah.
Come on.
No. So I have 2 NFL ones. It's kind of like leftover ones that we didn't do from last episode. So Keep 3 Cup 5, NFL Young Offensive Stars. I'll say there are no quarterbacks in this. All offensive weapons.
So okay.
So all offensive weapons. All of these guys under the age of 25.
Ooh,
If
that's
It's
interesting.
really young. I feel like
That makes
okay.
me have to think about who.
if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure all of these guys are under 25, if not 25. So I might be wrong. Don't
25
kill
and
me in the
lower,
comments.
maybe.
Yeah. So Keep 3 Cup 5, NFL Young Offensive Stars. First name up, JSN. Cole and Nick, are you guys keeping or cutting JSN?
Keep.
Nick is the veteran here. Nick was on the last episode we did
Or
this.
is it right now in the NFL?
Right now in the NFL.
We're keeping JSN. What the fuck? You just won Offensive Player of the Year.
Super Bowl.
Okay, fine, that's fine. I don't hate it. No, I don't hate it. He's just not my favorite. And I don't know what names he's gonna give us.
There's no.
I don't know.
If we got clipped, if this shit got clipped, and that, let's say that hit a large audience of us just saying nah to JSN after this year, we're getting cooked so crazy. That's all I know about that. Also, that would be you're getting cooked. You're getting fried,
bro. We made some bad choices on the last one. We made some bad choices.
I'm just saying that's.
Oh, see, I just had to look up Jetta's name or his age real quick. He's 26. Had to make sure.
Okay.
This is where I'm thinking. Like, so I'm taking Jetta's over JSN. I don't care about how last year went.
Sure, but we get to keep 3, so it's like
for sure.
Top 3 receiver in football right now, and I don't. Yeah, so there we go. Okay.
But then you add in like running backs, tight ends.
Yeah, I know.
Running
I'm
backs.
confident with JSN though. I'm confident with JSN.
Fair enough. We can keep him.
Keeping JSN. Next name up, Devon Achane.
Cut. Got it. I think we cut there.
Cut Devon Achane.
There's probably like There's probably like 3 or 4 better running backs.
Great season though. Yeah, great season. Cut.
Next name up, Malik Neighbors.
Cut. The fuck you're gonna keep him, but not JSN? Seriously, he didn't even play last year, and I'm just saying I think that's a cut. Wait. How many guys?
This recency bias is crazy.
No, I love.
If you put Malik Neighbors,
I'm high on Neighbors.
If you put Malik Neighbors in a fucking offense that JSN had, my guy, come on, we ain't gonna act like that's a right away cut.
I don't disagree with you there, but
we can still
who
cut.
else was in his class? No. Who else was in his class?
I don't know.
Like receiver class, I'm saying. It was the one with Marvin Harrison, him, Ladd McConkey.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of other names we might get that are under 25.
He's better than all those guys.
Malik. So, like, where does Malik rank as a receiver to you? I probably have him 7 or 8 right now in the game. Even after not playing last round, I think he could probably put it right there. I'm with you on that. I think JSN is like 2 or 3. So that's why when I think out of these top 10, how many guys are under 25? JSN he's 2 or 3 in the league right now in general. He's got to be in our thing. Is there are there top receivers that are under 25 in this range?
No,
probably not.
Not really.
What other running backs do we get? I don't know. I'm starting to change my mind. So I am with you a little bit more on this. There's not many running backs that I'm taking over him either in the league right now. We don't have to. I don't know.
I would go like maybe Bijan. I don't even know how old Bijan is.
Like, I think Bijan might be on this. We can reserve a spot.
Jamar Chase is 26. All these guys are 26. God damn it.
Are we allowed to look up ages? I want to know that too
I've been doing it. I've been doing it.
Like, how old is Bijan? If we can do that, I'm just.
No. We can keep going.
Let's not look up ages. Let's just try to. You want to cut Neighbors?
Let's go. Yeah. Let's cut Neighbors.
Okay.
Cutting Malik Neighbors.
Gosh, I was indecisive there. You talked me into it. I'm gonna be honest. You talked me into it.
You guys kept JSN, cut Devon Achane, cut Malik Neighbors. Next name up, Jahmyr Gibbs.
Keep.
Yeah, see, that's why we cut Neighbors there. I'm okay with this. That's a good keep. I think Jahmyr, David Montgomery next year, I think he's going to go crazy again.
When I watch the game, I feel like he's the best running back in the league. I know I can't make the best case for that. He's up there. Just my eyes tell me he's the best running back in the league.
You can definitely make an argument for it, for sure.
So you guys are for sure keeping? Okay. Keeping Jahmyr Gibbs. You have one keep left out of these next 4 names.
Yeah, that's a lot of. I mean, you're saying no to 5 guys, but
it's okay.
I like our JSN and Jahmyr Gibbs. I like us right now.
Next name up, Brock Bowers.
I'm okay with that.
You said this on purpose. You said this on purpose. There's 3 other names.
I know. I'm good with cutting. He's so good.
We got to cut, but we also have to make it known that dude could possibly be the best tight end in the league.
We could make a case for him up against almost anyone that might be named here, though.
I feel like we're just shooting ourselves in the knee if we do it, though.
Like Bijan, I want Bijan over him, though. So if we get Bijan, I want to reserve this last spot for Bijan, I think. I'm going to start playing that type of game.
Let's cut Brock. Let's cut him.
Cut.
Cutting Brock Bowers. It's crazy. This next one's one you guys haven't even named yet. Next name up, Puka Nacua.
Oh, man.
News not doing him well recently.
Dog, though.
Oh, for sure. And I think he still will be, obviously.
JSN had a better season than him. So I'm okay with that.
I'm definitely okay with cutting. I think that we can get better.
But Puka to me is at the start of last year he was the best receiver in football. By the end of the year he was second or third.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like JSN more right now, and I'm happy with our pick with that. I think JSN is maybe the best receiver in football. He was just offensive player of the year. He's an unbelievable player. I am okay with him being over Puka and cutting Puka.
We have 2 more?
One more.
Okay, so wait. We have one more.
You have two more names after Puka.
Oh, okay. 2 more names after Puka.
Keep.
Okay, so we'll cut. We have 2 more names. We have to keep one of these next 2.
We're going to get Bijan. Do I want that? Do I want to keep him over?
Cutting Puka, for sure. Next name up, Drake London.
Cut.
I love him, but cut.
Cutting Drake London. So.
We have to. Love him.
You guys are keeping this last player. Keep 3, cut 5. NFL young offensive stars. You guys kept JSN, cut Devon Achane, cut Malik Neighbors, kept Jahmyr Gibbs, cut Brock Bowers, cut Puka Nacua, and cut Drake London. And your final keep is Ladd McConkey.
Fuck.
We got a wide receiver 2 for our fucking last one. A wide receiver 2.
That's wide receiver 1.
That's not wide receiver 1.
That
is not wide receiver 1.
Oh, we got fucked.
That's an L right there. That's an L.
I was sitting here, I was just like, man, the under 25 one is tough because looking at it, there was so many guys that
are just on that edge.
I think Chase was a month ago. Chase was 25, something like that. If you really wanted to get crazy with young, I think Amon-Ra's 26, Jettis was 26, Chase is 26. So I think McBride is 26 as well. So you could do 26 and below.
He just So you just decided not to choose Bijan. He's 24. I respect it. I respect that.
That's ridiculous. You made the list before, right? You didn't fucking just fucking pick him at the.
Or just
did you
cross
do
him
it as a
out?
win? Like,
No,
bro,
Cross
like,
him out.
I had a long list of
They want
guys that
Bijan.
could have been on here. Like a long list of guys that I just
Okay, I
had
got
on
you.
my list.
Yeah.
Like I just like was going through them, and I'm sitting here like, because it's on like this kind of like the same note that I had the other ones. And I'm sitting here looking at it like Buck Chase is 26 and like young offensive stars. Like it could go either way if you want to call 26
Yeah.
young. Like it's just like I just felt like 25
It's
under
only
sounded better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Chase-
him, Jefferson, Amon-Ra, McBride, they're all 26.
C's probably 26, 27.
Like they're all kind of in that same class. Like
26. Goddamn. Oh, CD's birthday is in 3 days. Happy birthday, CD.
and now here
I feel like CD's been in the league for a fucking minute now.
Mm-hmm.
now here's the interest. Keep 3 Cup 5 NFL quarterbacks. We kind of did this one last episode with Soul. This is going to be interesting.
Mahomes isn't on the list. He wasn't last time. He's not going to be on it this time either.
Are you doing
Just-
just okay? Yeah, just name. Okay.
We can go like kind of we did last episode. Next season, who would you kind of
I
want
like that.
starting quarterback? Going off projecting next season, we kind of did is kind of see where your guys' heads are going into next year and who you guys think are higher on, lower on, things of that nature. Because I think it's kind of hard because you can do the JSN arguments, which like offensive player of the year, MVP, like kind of hard to cut him. Like even though he had like a really good year on a really good team that won the Super Bowl, like different arguments to be made, obviously. But keep 3 Cup 5 NFL quarterbacks. This is going to be thinking next year. Who will be better? First name up, Drake May.
That's so funny. Isaac was asking for Drake May the whole episode. This is just the first name.
When I cut you off, I thought you were originally going to say Justin Herbert, but Drake May going forward. You see his stuff because he left a bad Super Bowl taste in our mouth.
Cut him.
That's a tough
We're
one.
gonna get
He's
better
one of the
names.
best young quarterbacks.
I know he is.
Yeah, Drake
For sure.
May. I'm down to cut. It's just he almost was MVP last year. That was hard for me to do.
To kind of give
Gonna
my
get
2
so
cents
much
on it
hate.
because I think he's an interesting one. As I think he played so well to where if he does even a little bit worse, people are gonna think it's some crazy downgrade. And it's just not
Mhm.
because he played so well.
Schedule.
I think he'll have a fine season. I think he'll be good.
Yeah.
I don't think he's. I just don't. He's a top 3 quarterback in the league and
He's
top 5.
about
I
to get
don't think
fucked
he's a
by a
top 5
first place
quarterback.
schedule. First place schedule upcoming for him, right? Or do they get? Yeah, they're first place.
Yeah.
Cut Drake May. Next name up, Justin Herbert.
Let me down last year, brother. You let me down.
Next year, like I'm
Me
done.
and Nick been in on the Chargers.
I know, but I might be done hoping that next year is going to be better. It
I've
might
done
just
that
be
shit
more
for
of the
4
same.
years, and they're in my division. Like,
It might just. It might just be more of the
I
same.
can't trust him again. I've given his ass too
McDaniel
many
OC
fucking
though.
chances.
Mike McDaniel's OC.
I'll eat. I'm not doing the Herbert thing again next fall. I'm not
And
going
the
to do it
O-line's
again.
back.
And also, get the fuck out of here. Also, the other problem is, you guys. Let's say if you could come back to this if you want. Even if they're cooking all regular season, I'm gonna say just wait till the fucking playoffs because I'm on Justin Herbert hater watch last year. He hurt me. I gave full belief in him when I didn't even have to. They're in my division.
Cutting Justin Herbert. 2
Herbert
cuts in a
last
row.
Yeah.
Next name up, Jalen Hurts.
We kept him in our last one out of 4, so we had to.
Him off of a first round playoff loss will go to the Super Bowl. That's what he's. Hey, listen, we can buy low on Jalen Hurts right now if you want to, but if you want to cut, I'm okay. I get it as well. But I'm ready to buy low on Jalen Hurts right now.
So am I.
Over Herbert and Drake May.
Let's keep it. I think that fucking article might be all smoke. I know it's probably real, but like I think it's
he's
going to be
ready.
all smoke as
It's Philly smoke. You know how it comes. He's ready
come
to
on, we know how
fucking.
Philly goes.
That's
Also a man. Jalen Hurts is a man. He knows how to work through it. He ain't pussying out. He ain't gonna sit there and cry like AJ Brown.
They're gonna
That's
start-
the leader of the team.
They're gonna start 8-0, and he's gonna give a crazy speech at his post game presser, and we're gonna be like this. He's a top 5 quarterback in the league right now, and this is exactly what we have been fucking preaching.
It's gonna be hard to get Cole off this next keep. Next name up,
Enzo Mendoza.
Jaden Daniels.
Oh, okay,
JD.
type shit. I
Keep.
thought this dude was about to bring Mendoza into it. You say keep?
I mean, who are the top? Oh, hold on. Let's be careful here because there are some names that are out there still. But
Joe Burrow
it's
wasn't in
only
the last
2-3.
one. Joe Burrow's in this one.
Oh, I don't even care.
I'm
if
going
Joe's in
cut.
there. I might. He's so good. I'm okay with cutting, but he's so fucking good, and
He
he
is
just was
good.
hurt
I
all
hope
year.
I hope he has a great year.
I'm not in on the Commanders this year. That's mainly my reason why I'm okay with cutting. I'm a little bit less in on them as I was last year because I think if he was healthy last year, they could have been at least closer back to where they were. But something about the Commanders is throwing me off a little bit, and that might be the reason I'm okay with cutting. But I trust him still. I do.
Cutting Jane Daniels.
How many names left now? We have what? 3? Oh yeah.
You guys cut Drake May, cut Justin Herbert, kept Jalen Hurts, cut Jane Daniels. Next name up, Jared Goff.
Cut.
Yeah, I don't want him. He's
But
just
now we're
the
starting
most
to get
mid
around
quarterback.
middle of the pack quarterback, so now I'm getting scared about our keeps.
That's when he sneaks in a good one. This is when he sneaks in a good one.
I just heard Jared Goff. I'm like, oh shit.
Next name up, Jordan Love.
Jesus
Keep.
Christ.
That's a keep. He just was elite in the playoffs, or that playoff game they lost. He was elite. That shit was not his fault. They kept handing it off on first and 10. Put the ball in his hands. He's a superstar. We only have 2 names left to hear and 1 spot, so we were gonna have to get.
That's what I was going to say. He's a good safe bet when we only have 2 left.
I mean, he's arguably a top 5 quarterback. He's arguably a top 5 quarterback. We can do that. We can save it for later. He's there. I was saying
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You did say arguably.
I'm not saying he's staying top 5, but he's in that next tier outside of the top tier quarterbacks.
When Jordan Love hits that one big step back and that lean back, it's a dime. It's a dime.
That throw
Keeping
he almost
Jordan
made
Love.
that got dropped. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Some of his throws.
Next name up.
Fuck.
1 keep left. Baker Mayfield.
I think we cut him.
We have to, but I don't like going to last name again. But
no, we had a lot. This is where we live and we die by it. But we had a bad one last time.
This is where we get Burrow.
Yeah.
This is where we get Joe Burrow. Bring us
Baker.
Joe. Jordan Love, Jalen Hurts.
You're trying to beat us with Baker.
Keep 3, cut 5 NFL quarterbacks going into next season. You guys cut Drake May, cut Justin Herbert, kept Jalen Hurts, cut Jane Daniels, cut Jared Goff, kept Jordan Love, cut Baker Mayfield. I don't think this is a bad keep for this list. You guys are keeping Bo Nix. I don't think that's a bad.
Jane Daniels, but I like it. I'd prefer Jane Daniels,
Bo
but I like it.
Nix went head to head with Josh Allen and won a game in the playoffs.
Hey, I'm not mad at it, but I'd much rather have Jane Daniels and Drake May.
I don't hate it.
Come on.
I don't hate it. I mean, I just expected us to get a top 5 quarterback in there. You'd give us 0 top 5.
Actually, I don't think I'd rather have Drake May over. Is Bo Nix over Drake May fucking crazy going into next year?
I don't think it's
or other
crazy.
way around. Is Bo Nix
Jalen Waddle? Jalen Waddle is a Denver Bronco.
Bo Nix over Drake May next year? I hope not in my division.
That's not crazy. That's not a crazy thing to say.
The fucking Drake May's playoffs fucking blew. Like
they blew trunks, and
so
Bo Nix looked great before he got hurt.
Fumbling the football.
I have another one. NBA. Right back around NBA.
I love
the episode off.
These are fun. I ain't gonna lie. These are great.
I wanted Cole. And next episode, we'll kind of just so I can get in on it too. Next episode, we'll all prepare for one and everything else like that. Maybe we all do one.
Sorry to cut you off. I'm just like yeah.
And maybe we all like Nick does quarterbacks, Cole does wide receivers. I do like something else, or like we all bring one to the table and everything else like that. Keep 3, cut 5 prime NBA point guards. So these are all guys in their primes, all at different stages.
All time?
Right. All time.
We're talking all-time hoops. I like that.
Keep 3, cut 5 prime NBA point guards. First name up, Derrick Rose.
Cut. Next.
All right. Type shit. Cut. Let's cut him. I don't know where this list is going to go. Let's cut him.
He did say the word prime, though. But that's objective as well a little bit. I mean, or subjective. Whatever. Yeah. Subjective, sorry. I think he had an elite peak, but we can define prime different than peak. Like his peak year that he won the MVP that LeBron should have won was an unbelievable season, and the city of Chicago will never forget it. It had a crazy vibe to it, but I think we're going to get some better names. So
cutting Derrick Rose. Next name up. This is where you could say he had a better prime. John Wall. Maybe not the peak of Derrick Rose. Maybe a better prime, longer prime. Derrick Rose.
Who is it?
John Wall.
John Wall.
Okay, I thought cut. No playoff success. Next,
I was gonna say I'm not. That doesn't really move me.
He won a playoff series for sure, at least once, I think, but they never were able to do shit. And they talk about that Wizards team talks like they were a fucking dynasty. Y'all know what I'm talking
John
about,
Wall.
like, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out John Wall though.
Love John Wall.
Cutting John Wall. Next name up, Steve Nash.
Keep. Come on. It's my boy right there.
Keeping Steve Nash.
Yeah.
You guys have cut Derrick Rose, cut John Wall, keeping Steve Nash. Next name up, Tony Parker.
Oh shit!
Back-to-back keeps is crazy, but
fucking guys, I don't want to pull up his. I don't care to look up his stats and stuff. We could get into the whole Tony Parker talk right now because I feel like a lot of people don't know how great he really was. Like how? Nah, he has a Finals MVP, doesn't
he? Yeah. Yes, I'm pretty sure he does.
I feel like Corey's in an era right now, kind of, to where I don't think we're gonna get like Magic Johnson type names. You know what I mean? But I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
I think we're still going to get some good names. I mean, I love Tony Parker. I am looking at stats right now, and I'm not.
Is it crazy that I'm just like thinking about Tony Parker, but I'm instantly no for Derrick Rose?
I think it's a little crazy, but I do like to preface that I didn't really watch basketball until like 2015. So I do have to preface that.
Fair. That's fair. No, that's fair. But no, that's very fair, but that's the thing about Tony Parker, though. I feel like you could not watch basketball like that and still kind of know what type of shit he was on because those Spurs
100%.
teams were always
100%.
like you would see the TV. You look at a TV around this time of year, you see Spurs in a playoff game back then. Like that's just what it was. So and winning playoffs, and so
like it's just like now I've never looked up Tony Parker's stats. And I'm just looking at it. He only averaged 20 points one time.
But I know. Yeah, no. Trust me, but what's his accolades?
Like 4 championships?
A lot. 6 All-Stars, 4 championships, Finals MVP, 4 NBA All-Rookie, 4 All-NBA.
So he got 4 All-NBAs, a Finals MVP, 4 titles in his prime. I'm down with keeping that. But if you want to say but also he plays Spurs basketball, and in his era, not as many guys were scoring over 20 points per game.
Right? Yeah.
I'm good with keeping this.
I'm fine
he's an all-time. He's an all-time great.
Let's do it. Back-to-back keeps.
Keeping Tony Parker.
Do you like that name up? Don't say it. Don't say if you like it yet. After I want to know what you think about that because the names will hear. But
yeah,
I want to know if you like our logic because his accolades is like ridiculous. His resume is unbelievable. That's
Next name up, Chris Paul.
We have to. I mean, we have to keep. I think right now. No, we don't actually. Because he fucking never won. He never won shit.
Oh.
Nick does have so much love for Chris Paul being a Suns fan.
Though. Actually, like extra love. I love him so much.
He never won shit,
but no, we
this
gotta
is
cut
the
him.
PG though. This is the PG.
Yeah, he is the PG.
I agree. I'm not trying to hate. That was funny though.
I don't think we can
Chris
keep
Paul
him
is
after
kind of funny to me because he's a fucking ass. But I'm down with cutting because he might throw Curry in us.
Yeah, let's cut him.
Yeah,
Chris Paul.
Curry's an obvious yes, so he's
okay. Next name up, one keep left. Next name up, Russell Westbrook, MVP, Dub.
Yeah, his prime was ridiculous.
His prime was it's just crazy because these point guards have so much like different games. Like obviously, Russell ain't won shit for real.
I mean, hold on.
Steve Nash won back to back.
What did you say?
Steve Nash won back to
back. That had to be a yes for the prime aspect of things. And I mean, it's Steve Nash. And the Tony thing is like 4-time champion, 4-time All-NBA. I don't know if it was all the same. You know what I'm saying? Throughout his prime, that was long as well.
Yeah.
So it's like we're setting the bar really high with accolades right now, and I'm okay with staying consistent to that and cutting. I am. I'm okay with doing that. Russ wasn't affecting basketball teams like Steve Nash and Tony Parker was, and we've set a standard, right?
All right, let's keep the standard. I
felt like I disrespected Derrick Rose a little bit, but at the end of the day, I still like the 2 guys that took over him. He wasn't doing the unfortunate injury. You could say, sure, I agree. He wasn't doing these things that these 2 guys we've said, and we've set a bar right now. So I'm cutting Russell Westbrook.
Next name up, Kyrie Irving.
Cut. How many do we have left though?
One more.
Oof.
Hold on.
But
Cut Kyrie Irving.
Yeah,
Well-
yeah. Wait, so we have one more name after this? Yeah, I'm down with cutting.
Yep.
I'm down with letting it go to the last one for the fun of it, honestly.
like, I feel like we're gonna get someone like Dame or something, which is fine, but
We have one more spot or one more name we're going to get?
both.
One more name. Yeah, we're gonna get.
Okay, I'd like Dame. I'd like Dame, actually, even though he didn't do shit either. Nah, I can't even. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. Cut. I'm starting to think we have to keep this one for some reason. I don't think we're getting a name.
I
don't think we're
absolutely
getting
love
the name.
Kyrie.
He
Kyrie's one
said
of my
too many
favorite
good
players
guys.
of all
He
time.
said too many good guys. I don't know if we're gonna get a like.
We're gonna get. I don't even know.
No, I think we take our. I think we roll the dice. I think we cut.
All right, let's go.
Let's roll it. It'll be more fun
So
that way.
you guys cut Kyrie Irving. Keep 3, cut 5 prime point guards addition. You guys cut Derrick Rose, cut John Wall, kept Steve Nash, kept Tony Parker, cut Chris Paul, cut Russ, cut Kyrie. And you guys are keeping Damian
Oh
Lillard.
my God, I guessed it right.
I can live with that, just because I know I said all the accolade shit, but I mean,
I would have really liked to
he
keep
was-
Russ. I should have said that. I should have said it.
I want to pull up.
You brought up a great point that I'll kind of get into with the Tony Parker thing. It's like peak versus prime. Because if you're talking peak, I think a lot of people would have just kept Derrick Rose off the rip. But my argument was like, you could argue John Wall had a little bit longer of a prime of years being at the top like that. Not saying John Wall was Curry's levels of prime, but like more consistent over years, which is something that like you could look at for Tony Parker, Steve Nash. Those guys also have the accolades to back it up, so those are good keeps. And I think Tony Parker is a good keep because I think he gets slept on a ton in terms of the accolades argument. But was his prime as a player better than Chris Paul? Probably not. Was his prime better than a Russell Westbrook as a player? I don't know. But
No.
I think Damian Lillard's prime is better than Tony Parker's. That might be a hot take. Because I don't think anybody on this list.
Damian Lillard averaged 25 for like 11 years in a row after he got it, with multiple of those years being 30 plus.
He might have the longest standalone prime outside of Tony Parker.
I agree with how you're
being the
thinking
leader
about
of
this
a
actually
franchise. But
now.
being the leader
for
of
10
a
straight
franchise.
seasons. Yeah.
Taking the Blazers to the playoffs
More.
multiple times, getting to a conference
Chris Paul did
finals.
too, just on different
Chris Paul did
teams.
too. Yeah.
But Chris Paul was on teams that were built to have like other guys, like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Dame was
Damian
just his
Lillard
team.
was dead ass like all NBA, getting MVP votes most years. Like literally, he's like one of the all-time leaders 3-point, and he didn't ever have he didn't have a career like that was very much like this or at all. He was up and he stayed at that elite level.
They all had. These guys all had ridiculous primes, obviously.
100%.
I have a
It's
hot
just
take. I have a crazy hot take.
Say it, please.
Would you rather have the Damian Lillard moments in the playoffs? I'll just name off some of the moments.
Championship.
Obviously, the wave against OKC. He had the crazy shit against Denver.
The Denver.
He had
The Denver
his
game
first
was
one.
crazy.
The Rockets one. Fade away off the inbound
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah. The Pacers one, he had a buzzer beater with the Bucks against the Pacers.
He has a lot.
Would you rather have Tony Parker's second ring or Damian Lillard's moments that will live on forever?
Something else. I thought you were going to say something else.
The second ring?
It's
just
how many rings do I end up having though if I'm Tony? Just one? I get that ring.
Would you trade one ring for Damian Lillard's moments?
As a player?
I'd go Dame's moments.
As a fan, I thought you were going to say as a fan base. Like, would you rather he had all these moments or they won a championship? I was like, championship every single day. Every single day. As a player,
if I already have one, if I already got one, give me those moments, bro. That wave over PG, bro. Give me that.
That one's crazy.
How many times do you think you've seen the wave over PG? Like
a lot of times.
Just the clip, just like
I mean, it'll live forever. That's why the question is good. You live forever doing shit like he did, and you had bro. It's because he's that guy. Like Tony was that guy too. But him winning one championship, they're not going to be like, well, that year when Tony Parker won that championship, based on how his career went. If they only had one, it's not like Tony carried them. It's about the Spurs. So if you're thinking on that level of like what makes you more legendary going down the line, it would 100% be all those Dame moments. Motherfuckers remember that shit more than the Spurs rings anyways.
I have another crazy one. I think the highest peak on this list is Kyrie. I think Kyrie has the most important ring on this list, and I think Kyrie reached the heights that none of the other guys did in the biggest moments.
I agree with that.
Okay,
The only thing is,
yeah.
He played with LeBron too, though, and
Yeah, I think Kyrie in 2016
Dame and Bron
reached
get that hoe done as well.
year.
I mean, that's better than Russ's fucking triple-double MVP for the first time ever.
I just always
Yeah,
it's just a different way. It's just a different way of looking at it.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah.
It's two just completely different scenarios.
I think it was.
I'm
better.
just thinking of Kyrie in that game 5. Kyrie dropping 41 in that game 5.
Because I would rather have the Kyrie for sure.
I'm with you right now. I'm really with you. I'm really with you about this.
This is the point of what I'm saying is I would rather have that Kyrie shit, but I think it also just might be more impressive what Russ did over the course of the season. You know what I'm saying? But
Russ's season's like an anomaly because
myself that Kyrie.
That peak was insane. Russ's was insane as a peak.
I think Chris Paul and Damian Lillard are going to go down in similar careers.
Yeah,
both were really good for Damian Lillard's more of a scorer,
but Chris Paul would not be able to do what Dame did with those teams and win a playoffs. Like I guess he went to the finals at Book and he was legendary, but I don't think he could ever do that, and that's why I don't like to hear that. But I do. I get what you're saying.
I'm trying to think, the talk of Chris Paul, Russ, Kyrie, and Dame Lillard is so interesting.
My question to you, Cole, could Dame have came I'm just trying to go scenario to scenario here. Could Dame have come into Phoenix and turned DeAndre Ayton into what he needed to be, play second fiddle to Devin Booker, and lead that team all the way to the finals?
I don't know. I guess it's not. That's why it's not fair to do that. Make that.
Yeah, that's the only reason I bring it up, because I don't think it's fair to do these situations where you put CP there.
Because I don't. Because I honestly don't either. Because that's the whole thing. I don't think CP3 could do what Dame did because they're different players. Obviously, they unlock different things. But so it's not a good logic for me to follow, I guess, or however I'm saying it. But I just feel like Chris Paul's shortcomings. I think he's played on so many good teams. He's played on so many he's been surrounded with really good teammates and good teams. And for him to still not get it done is really surprising to me. And it does make me question sometimes, if he's on the level of those other names we're saying. And I think that same way about Russ, though, too. But he'll even give you more statistically. But Kyrie, why? Go ahead.
I'll double down on that. I don't think Damian Lillard and Chris Paul are swappable players. I think if you swapped Dame and CP, I think the Suns would be worse at that time point.
Yes,
me too.
And I think if you swapped Dame and Chris Paul on that Houston team, I think the same thing in ways.
I don't know.
I think Chris Paul's.
I would argue that one.
I think Chris Paul being who he is with the ball compared to Damian Lillard, who's more of a scorer, because Damian Lillard had to be a scorer. I'm not saying Damian Lillard can't play make, but at the level that Chris Paul was, it's like a weird thing. I don't think Damian Lillard is taking this young-ass OKC team and this young-ass Phoenix Suns team over the hump. I'm not saying he took OKC over the hump, but they made the playoffs out of the bubble, and they were a fun team to watch because they had him, Schroeder, SGA. I don't think Dame is doing that for the young teams, but maybe the Houston one's different. Maybe the Houston one, maybe Dame on that Houston team gets it done.
I just think Dame and Harden, with that version of Harden and that version of Dame at the same time, sounds unbelievable.
To kind of wrap up the episode, one guy I think is going to be super interesting in this list when his career is over, especially if they win one or two more, is Jamal Murray. Because say Jamal Murray has
career.
two rings, and he's gonna be that guy. Maybe doesn't have all the all-stars as the other guys, but also has these crazy moments in the playoffs where he's just this crazy riser, where he's just averaging 30. He actually has one of my favorite moments ever in the play where I watched him and D Mitch go band for band. On a random night during that playoffs.
Oh, that Game 7. Are you talking about that Game 7 in 20?
That whole series,
the bubble.
That whole series.
Definitely.
It was in the first round.
Yeah, first round bubble.
He's had 2 game winners against LA.
Games, yeah.
That was
one of my favorite playoff series to watch.
He has some other he's another one that in a couple of years if they win another one where he's oh fuck he's low-key got a crazy resume and people forgot he might be a crazy thing. He might be the Tony Parker of this era because he's playing with Jokic and he's
I don't
getting
mind
a
that.
lot of accolades how Parker played with Tim Duncan just kind of comparing the two Jamal Murray, like you don't look at Tony Parker for his all-stars, but he had the playoff moments. He was a dog in the playoffs. Like those are kind of two comparable careers I could see happening.
But Jamal will never win a Finals MVP with Jokic on the team, I don't think. Unless Jokic is
Jamal Murray averaged
older
30
version of
against
himself.
Miami. He didn't win it. He was insane. He was elite. He was elite.
Jokic is too different. He was
But
insane.
we can wrap the episode
the regular
up there,
season
though.
this year too.
Yeah.
Like he's been a good. I mean, up and down maybe a little bit, but like he got his first All-Star, if I'm not mistaken, didn't he?
I was
Jamal?
not tapped in. I was hate watching All-Star Weekend this year.
I respect that. I didn't watch any of it either. That's why I don't fucking know if he got it.
Hey, this was his best year in fantasy. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Did he?
He was
Injury replacement?
He was. He got his first All-Star. No, I think he just was in.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Makes
But
sense. The Nuggets were hot as fuck at that time also, too. If I'm not mistaken.
We can wrap the episode up there. Went for a while, just kind of talking some ball, rambling at the end. But that's what the pod is all about. Thank you guys for tuning into the Barrel Talk podcast. Hope to see you tune in to future episodes.
Sir.